KnifeDope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a fresh batch of dope. KnifeDope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Now, I know that I had been saying recently that I intended on doing a single video for top 20 knives of 2023. However, upon trying to compile that list, it quickly became evident that I had more than 20 knives that I wanted to share with you guys. And so therefore, we're going to have a couple of videos. Today's video is going to be on the top 10 budget knives of 2023. And to my standards or my criteria, budget knives are going to be anything $100 or less. Now, a little bit more of the criteria that I'm using to compile these lists. Number one is going to be the knife has had to have been released in 2023. And then also, I have to physically have the knife here in my possession in order to show you. Now, because of that criteria, there are a few knives that you won't see on these videos, and that's primarily because I do not have the knife here in front of me to share. So now, before we get to the top 10, we got this one, which is an honorable mention. This is the QSP Canary, the folder version of the Canary. Now, this one is by far the least expensive knife out of all the videos. This one came in at about $37. It is a fantastic option nonetheless. I just felt that there was 10 other knives that I felt were better options. 14C28N G10 scales. This is a liner lock. They've got these speed holes or cutouts on the actual handle. Fantastic option, great offering from QSP, and that is the honorable mention knife. All right, coming in at number 10, we've got this one. This is from Migon. This is the Pagos. So this is the budget version of the actual Pagos 2. Now we've got two forms of deployment, thumb studs and front flipper. Both of them are tuned to perfection. Beautiful straight back blade here in 14C. Nice flat grind. Blasted finish on the blade. This is a liner lock. Plenty of room to disengage. Action's official like a ref with a whistle. They even gave us a nice milled titanium pocket clip. All this for under $50, I think 47 to be exact, and that's number 10. Number 9 is this one. This is the Cavist Invert. Now, this knife suffered, I think, due to some timing when it dropped, but nonetheless, I wanted to give it its acknowledgement. The company, Cavist, is a great company. Really enjoy Mr. Jacob Lundquist, great guy, and he's got such wonderful designs. This one came in, if you got it on pre-order, I want to say $85 or $80, but currently it's about $98. We've got titanium scales with nested liners, two forms of deployment. You've got your cutout as well as this front flipper, reversible pocket clip, right or left hand tip up. Fantastic option coming in at number 9. That was the Invert. Okay, number 8. This is going to be the first appearance for this company, which is Vosteed. This is the Corsair. Now, Vosteed has dropped so many knives this year. Many of them are wonderful, and this is one of those examples. This one comes in at $69. Several different versions to go with. We got this nice drop point blade in Nitro V steel, full flat grind. This one has got a beautiful black wash finish, contoured micarta scales. Also, this is utilizing a crossbar lock. Very reminiscent, or rather exactly like the Kaiser clutch lock. It is adjustable, so you can adjust the spring tension on this. Fantastic option. I believe Kaiser manufactured these to be a budget version, or rather a budget alternative to the bug out. And for the price, it is a no-brainer. And that is the Vosteed Corsair. Okay, coming in at number 7, we've got this one. 2 years in a row, this has been on the best of list, and this is the CJRB Pyite. Now, this one is what they call the alt Pyite, and I know a lot of people try to call this a Wharncliffe blade, but to me, that is more of a reverse Tonto. But nonetheless, fantastic option. Single form of deployment, you have your cutout, or actually you've got two forms because you can actuate that button. This is a button lock. This particular version you see here in front of you is the White Mountain Knives exclusive. I believe this one came in at $69. Solid lockup, which CJRB has been making some of the best button locks in the game. AARPM 9 is the steel, which is their proprietary steel. Beautiful stonewash finish. Fantastic option coming in at number 7. And that is the CJRB Pyite. Number 6. Okay. Now, some people may try to give me a little pushback on this one because the actual budget version of the Nightshade did come out in 2022. However, this thumbhole version did come out in 2023. And this is such a fantastic knife that I felt it had to be on the list. This one comes in at $69. We've got this shilling cutter blade shape, 154 cm steel, beautiful crown spine, nice jimping there at the base, contoured micarta scales. This is also a liner lock, fantastic action, great ergos. It does come with a deep carry pocket clip. However, I replaced mine for this Kaiser deep carry clip. Wonderful work knife. And that was coming in at number 6, the Daste Nightshade TH. Top 5, baby. Now, this one right here quite possibly might be the best bang for your buck for 2023. This is the Kooby Tits for Us, otherwise known as the Titius. Now, when this first came out in its premium form, everybody was speaking about how this was a budget version to the Konigarius. And granted, aesthetically, I can kind of see some of the similarities, but that's about where they end. But nonetheless, at $100, we've got full titanium, no liners. This is a frame lock. Fantastic action as you've got the flipper for deployment as well as that generous cutout. Ergonomically, due to these contoured titanium handles, it does feel the hand rather nicely. That nice sharpening choil can double down as a choke-up spot and accommodate the full purchase, no refund. Full flat grind on the blade, blasted finish. Fantastic option. As a matter of fact, when I first got this knife, I ended up paying $67. So that was a goddamn no-brainer. That's number 5 on the list, the Kooby Tits for Us. Okay, number 4, another Kooby OEM knife. This one coming from the DVO Boys. This is Growler, version 2. Don't get it fucked up. Now, version 1 was OEM by a company who shall remain nameless. However, version 2 really stepped it up for them. Kooby crushed it on this. I think there was about 3 or 4 different handle versions you could have got for this knife. To me, this one was the best looking one. It's got these beautiful contoured carbon fiber scales. This is a nested liner lock. Plenty of room to disengage that lock bar. We've got a single form of deployment, which is that generous cutout. 154 cm is the steel satin finish. Very slicey here, super thin behind the edge. Love the fact that they gave us that full length jimping on the spine. There is that little spot for you to choke up and accommodate that full purchase. This is a favorite of mine for sure. Now, as far as price point goes, this did come in at $100 on the mark. That was, of course, after utilizing one of the discount codes. So therefore, it does fit the criteria for me. Wonderful option coming in at number 4. Okay, top 3. Now, this next one had kind of been in the number 1 spot for me for the majority of the year. And there's good reason for that. This is the Migon Myoro. Now, granted, what you see here in front of you is a customized version to the Myoro. Big shout out to Al, aka Hungry Bird 1970, for donating this to me. This is what he did was he actually contoured these G10 handles. Totally changes the aesthetics of the knife as well as the ergos. But even without that, this is still a fantastic knife. I've got mine riding on skiffs, but that was not a necessary upgrade. The bearings that came on it were just fine. 14C classic drop point blade, full flat grind, single form of deployment, which is that generous cutout, fantastic detent. We've got a nice spot for you to choke up and get your full purchase on. Also comes with a milled titanium pocket clip. All of this for under 50 or right at 50. Wonderful knife. And this is the Migon Myoro. Okay, these last 2 can pretty much be interchangeable, but this is the way I'm rolling. Coming in at number 2 is this one. This is the Savvi Vision FG. Now, this is also a knife that seems to have taken over the EDC community by storm, and deservedly so. This one could also classify as best bang for your buck. This came in under $80, and it is utilizing the SNEC locks, or otherwise known as the Super Lock. We've got a Nitro V steel here in the reverse tonto apparatus, full flat grind on the blade, super fidgety due to that lockup, or rather due to that locking mechanism, also locking up tighter than frog's ass. There's about 3 or 4 different versions on the handle you could have gone with. I chose this green micarta. A couple of changes they did from the premium version to this budget version is they added these thumb studs. They also gave us that jimping on the lock bar, and then they also did relocate that pocket clip. On the premium version, it rode on the spine, and a lot of people didn't like that. So what they did was they ended up allowing you to mount it to either side of the knife to carry right or left hand tip up. I also changed out that stock pocket clip as I felt it was horrendous, but this one is great. You can also choke up. Wonderful knife, possibly one of the best bang for your bucks. Coming in at number 2, the Savvi Vision FG. And then there was one, the unofficial overseas knife of the channel. You've seen it before. You know her goddamn name. We're looking at the CJRB Echo. Now, you know, I know the Pyrite seems to get a lot of love, and deservedly so, but this one, to me, has been CJRB's best knife to date. This knife has such a hold on me that I ended up buying about 3 or 4 different versions of it. This is the remaining version in the collection. Picked this up at Blade Show. This, when I bought it, came in at $100 on the dot. I believe right now you can possibly get them for a little bit under $100. But we've got this nice modified sheath foot / reverse tonto blade here with a nice bit of belly. AAR PM9 once again is the steel. That is Artisan Cutlery's proprietary steel. Full solid titanium handles. Also, once again, utilizing CJRB's button lock. Never has there been an issue for me for any of my CJRB knives with their button locks. All have been locking up super solid. Very fidgety. You've got multiple forms of deployment. That front flipper, as well as that cutout. Mill titanium pocket clip completes the show, and that is also reversible. This is my #1 budget knife of the year for 2023. Well, there you people have it. My official top 10 budget knives of 2023. You know, I think this is a great time, possibly the best time for you to, you know, if you're into budget knives, you know, they just have so many options that you can get for under $100. It's crazy. You know, these knife makers are just in a constant competition with themselves for our business. And that's a good thing for us, you know. They should be competing for our business because that's what it's all about. But there you guys have it. My top 10 budget knives of 2023. Did I miss out on any? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Into the next time. Cut something. Cut someone. Just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers.